support drama, especially those of you that wore fantastic, enthusiastic costumes. If you wore a costume, cheers! Yay! So, a couple of quick things. Number one, I always like to let you know that our productions here at YISS are entirely student-run. So let's get a round of applause for our stage manager and our booth crew. Yay. And let's see, was there anything else? Oh, two people who did not get thanked on the program that I would just really love to thank. The first is Mrs. Yang. She has been here very late every night this week, just loaning her daughter to us and helping us out with various things. And also Mrs. Ree made one of our costumes for us that was quite complicated, so we were so grateful. Now, we like very loud, very enthusiastic, very responsive audiences here at YISS. So, if that's right, if you see something on this stage that you like, maybe some muscles or some dancing or anything that you like or anything you think is funny, I want you to feel free to cheer and get involved. They would love to hear you. So here's your chance. Please enjoy Wind of 1,000 Tales!
Listen, do you hear it? There's a wind, a warm, whispering, murmuring wind, a magic wind made up of all the voices that ever told tale. Listen, a wind of 1,000 voices of 1,000 years breathing stories into the ears of children. A wind of 1,000 tales blowing in the dark of night. Listen.
Once upon a time, happily ever after, a handsome prince into the woods,
a kindly old woman
at the bottom of the sea, a frightening ogre. Look, over the mountains,
in a dark and dreary castle,
the most beautiful, ugly witch in the village, in the valley, clever, powerful, graceful,
good-hearted,
beastliest of them all, happened once upon a time at the top of a.
once upon a time beside the.
Once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time.
And then there's a boy named Kevin K.
I can't find my encyclopedia!
And Kevin K. hates stories.
I had to find my encyclopedia because if I don't, my mother will try to read me a bedtime story. And I hate stories. They're dumb, they're boring, and they're totally untrue. People just make stories up. Our own parents make stories up. Then they tell it to us kids just to confuse us. The truth is, the things in stories actually never happened. I mean, really. There was never a person named Goldilocks. Nobody has actually seen a fairy godmother or a beanstalk. To me, they're just big fat fibs, and I'd rather know true than false. I've been trying to explain this to my mother, but she still tries to come in and read me a bedtime story. Watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready for bed, Pumpkin? Why don't I read you the story of Little Red Riding Hood? See? Mother, let me tell you the story of Little Red Riding Hood. A ditzy little girl goes into a dangerous forest wearing bright red. Talk about asking for trouble. Then she stops in the middle of the forest to have a conversation with a wolf. Oh, really? The wolf asks where Little Red is going, and she tells him. Then she's surprised that the wolf is trying to eat her and her grandma. What is the point there? If you're going to read to me, help me find my encyclopedia and start reading the seas. Something's not right with you, Kevin K. All little children are supposed to like stories. I'm a child of tomorrow, Mother. I don't have time for make-believe. Someday, Kevin K. Copernicus. Well, never mind. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. There are no such things as bed bugs, Mother. Good night. She means well, but she's stuck in the olden days. The other day I was telling my friend Crayola. Gee, it's kind of spooky out tonight. The way that the moon is shining through my window. I've never heard the breeze blow like that before. Anyway. Did you just see that? Did you just see that? This is really peculiar.
Once upon a time. 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 Once upon a time.
Kevin K was beginning to realize that this was no ordinary wind, and it carried Kevin K right out of his bedroom window, above the clouds, higher and higher.
Put me down! I don't live in some fairy tale where little kids get lifted out of their bedroom window. Put me down!
Kevin K could see the countryside flashing by below him, and as soon as he thought that he might never feel the earth beneath his feet again, the wind took him ever so gently and set him down in the dark and mysterious forest.
Yikes, it's so dark in here. Good thing that I brought Sparky. I don't like to look at these trees. Maybe this is just a dream. Yeah, this is just a dream.
It's no dream.
Who said that?
I did.
I could have sworn that the voice came from one of these trees.
It did. Hello, Kevin K. Welcome to nowhere.
This can't be happening to me.
Of course it can. Anything can happen in nowhere.
Nowhere?
Nowhere.
Wait, I don't know where nowhere is. Show it to me on a map.
I can't show you nowhere in a map. Nowhere is a secret place. Nowhere is the home of the wind of 1,000 tales.
Is that so? And who are you, Tinkerbell?
No, I am Risa, a little breeze from Mexico.
A breeze, right, as in...
That's right.
If you're a breeze, how come I can see you?
Well, because when I'm home in nowhere, I can look like anything I want. A moment ago, I was a tree. Now, I'm a beautiful lady. But if you'd rather, I could turn into a tractor or an overhead projector.
Well, Risa, it's nice being here in nowhere and all, but I don't even believe in nowhere, so I'm just going to close my eyes and I expect to be back in my bedroom.
I'm sorry, Kevin K., but you can't go back yet. We brought you here for a reason.
We? Who's we?
The other breezes and I. Together, we make up the wind of 1,000 tales. And we spirited you away from your bedroom tonight because we heard that you don't like stories.
Yeah, so?
Well, without stories, we wouldn't exist. And if other children follow your example and stop wanting stories, the wind of 1,000 tales will stop blowing forever.
So, what will you do to me?
Slow torture. I am just joking, Sarpus. All we're going to do is tell you 3 of our main stories. If we can convince you that stories are a good thing, then we'll happily take you back to your bedroom.
What if you can't?
Then the wind of 1,000 tales will cease to exist. Now sit. The first story is mine, and since I'm a Mexicana breeze, I'll tell you a little story from Mexico.
Read my lips. I don't like stories.
Sit!
Okay, right.
That's much better. And now the tale of Carlos and Corazon. upon a time, in the very heart of Mexico, there was a little town called Los Amor. Los Amor was a town filled with light and love. Now there lived in Los Amor 2 wealthy men and their lovely wives who were the best of friends. One day, Maria said to her husband,
Pepe, I'm going to have a niño.
there was much celebration. Then Pepe said to his friends Juan and Juanita,
Juanita, you was the baby's godparent.
At the end of the year, the little one was born, a beautiful niño they named Carlos! About 2 years later, Juan and Juanita had a child of their own, a little girl they named Corazon. Carlos and Corazon grew up together, like brother and sister.
I will be the Let's Play Palace. I'll be the handsome prince, and you can be
The princess?
No, you could be the old nurse who takes care of whatever we need.
Alright. That's how most of their games went. Then one day, Corazon's parents died.
No.
Everyone was very sad. But Pepe said,
Don't worry, Corazon. You may come and live with us.
and so Corazon became a part of Carlos's family. She and Carlos grew closer still. Corazon grew into a gentle, good-hearted young lady who loved music more than anything. Carlos, on the other hand, grew into a very handsome but very vain and frivolous young man. And instead of thinking about his heart, his mind, and his soul, he thought only of his well-combed hair. He flirted with all the girls in the town, and by the time he was 16, he had broken many hearts. And after each broken heart, he would say to Corazon,
She was not beautiful enough for me. I'd rather be blind and marry an ugly girl.
Now the truth was, Corazon loved Carlos very much, but she did not believe that she was a beautiful girl. So she could only turn her face downward and say,
Yes, Carlos, and the girl you marry must be good-hearted as well as beautiful.
Good-hearted.
Hold it. Brisa, I know this is a great story and all, but if I
Get
don't...
out of my story and let me finish it! Oh. Siéntate! Much better. One day, a beautiful American girl came to Los Amor to buy some authentic Mexican combs for her hair. When Carlos saw her,
Caramba, que linda.
he thought she was the most beautiful girl in the town.
This is so chiquita for me. What's your name, señorita?
Mary Elizabeth Bancroft Jones, but you may call me Poopsie.
Poopsie. Poopsie. Poopsie.
And so, Carlos introduced the American girl to his parents and announced that he wished to marry her.
Wonderful news, people.
Now, the truth was, Carlos's parents were not very happy. They wanted him to marry Corazon because they knew that she loved them very much, but they always gave Carlos what he wanted. And so, they made preparations for a huge engagement celebration. On the day of the fiesta, there was much laughing and dancing. When it came time to be entertained with music, the singers were nowhere to be found. They had all gotten drunk and fallen into the lake. Carlos's father was very upset.
What do you mean they fell into the lake? We have to have singers, or I'll be
You're part of the family. You can't demean yourself by entertaining a guest. Besides, you're not very pretty. And you're wearing such a plain dress. You embarrass me by calling attention to yourself.
Carlos! Your tongue is like a happy, stupid dog. Corazon, he's right that you shouldn't have to demean yourself with the guests in your own home.
Tio Pepe, please, let me sing.
Very well, my child.
And so, as everyone stopped their laughing and dancing and turned to listen, Corazon opened her heart and sang.
Canción de mi corazón, canto de amor, canto de paz, canto de felicidad. Canción de mi corazón, con alegría, canto de amor, toda mi vida. Vuela mi corazón como la paloma blanca, libre de pena, lleno de placer. Vuela, canción de mi corazón, canto de amor, canto de paz, canto de felicidad. Canción de mi corazón, con alegría, canto de amor, toda mi vida. Y mi amor cerca de mí me levanta el cielo azul. Nos sentamos con las estrellas y miramos con los angelitos. Vuela, vuela. Canción de mi corazón, canto de amor, canto de paz, canto de felicidad. Canción de mi corazón, con alegría, canto de amor, toda mi vida. Canción de mi corazón, vuela,
When Corazon finished singing, all the guests seemed to disappear from Carlos's sight. He looked at Corazon as if he had never seen her before.
I have never heard such a beautiful voice in all my life. I don't understand. Suddenly, I feel. Corazon, your song has enchanted me. I have decided only you can be my wife.
Surely you mock me, Carlos. I've heard you say many times that you'd rather be blind than marry an ugly girl. I know that I'm not nearly pretty enough for you, so please don't make fun of me by asking me to be your wife.
Carlos had never thought about his heart before. Now he knew that it was breaking. And so for 3 months, he tried desperately to make Corazon change her mind.
Corazon, I'll let you comb my hair.
But Corazon would not hear his pleas because she knew that she would always be ugly in his eyes. Finally, no longer able to bear the pain in his heart, Carlos bade a sad farewell to his parents.
Stay on the path and don't talk to strangers.
And left to a town far away.
That's so sad, but kind of stupid. If he likes her and she likes him, what's the problem?
I see you know nothing about love.
I looked it up once. And just out of curiosity, what happened to Carlos?
Well, Carlos knew that his own stupidity had caused him the love of his life, but he would not forget her. And so, for 1,000 nights, he faithfully wrote a letter each night to her. But he never mailed it because he was afraid that she would only trash them. Worse yet, because he wrote so many letters, by the dim light of a single candle, he found that he could no longer see.
Can anyone be unhappier than I? I've lost my eyesight and love of my dearest, Corazon. What shall I do?
I'll tell you what to do, amigo.
Said Carlos's friend Jose.
You need a woman to take care of you. Why don't you find yourself nice?
No.
Young?
No.
Good looking?
No.
Nurse?
Oh, that's not a bad idea, Jose. I could save up around here, but I don't know where to find a nurse.
Leave it to me, Jose.
You want me to be his nurse? It's true, I love Carlos, but he doesn't love me. Jose, I will go to him, but only on one condition. You must promise never to tell him who I am. Since he cannot see me, my ugliness will no longer shame him, and I'll work as his faithful nurse as long as he needs me.
And so Corazon became Carlos's nurse. She cooked for him, walked with him, read to him. And Carlos grew very fond of his gentle nurse, never guessing that she was his own Corazon.
Nurse, you have been most kind to me. Now I will share a secret with you. Under my bedding there's a bundle of letters. Take them and please bring them to me. These love letters cost me my eyesight, but they are well worth the price. Nurse, I wrote these letters for my took my life, but not for the blindness of my heart. Nurse, please bring me the letter that I wrote for a beautiful, good-hearted Corazon.
And so Corazon read the letters, one by one. She read of his love, of his faith, and of his sorrow. When morning came, she knew that Carlos truly loved her because in his letters, she had seen his heart. The next morning, the little matchmaker, Jose, decided to take matters into his own hands.
Carlos, Corazon is finally forgiving. I feel like we need to ask her one last time.
Jose, if you can convince Corazon to be my wife, I'll give half of my fortune.
I want half the fortune and your combs.
My combs? Combs can only lead to trouble, but you're welcome to them.
Bueno, wait here.
And so Corazon agreed without hesitation to give her heart to her beloved Carlos. When Jose brought her to him.
Corazon, is it you? Corazon, say something.
Enciende mi corazón, canto de amor. and his faithfulness. He wept for joy, for he saw as clearly as any man can see.
That in this good-hearted woman he had found true beauty.
The end. Did you like the story?
I don't know. Kind of wishy.
I'm sorry it didn't please you. The next day will not be so happy. Perhaps you'll like it more. Goodbye, Captain K.
Wait, Brisa. I kind of did like your story. Whoa, how did it get so dark in here? Hello? Anybody? Brisa? Mommy? Where's Sparky? Sparky? Brisa, where are you? Mommy? I want to go back to my bedroom. Sparky? 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 I found Sparky, I think. Now what? Where'd all these humongous mushrooms come from? I don't like the feeling of this.
Hello, Captain.
Hi. Don't tell me. You're Korean, right?
Yes, I am Nishi. I flew in from Japan.
And you're here to tell me a story?
Yes, I'm a tailor. This is a joke. Now please, sit down and hear the story of the Silver Bird Dancer.
But could you make it quick? I have a short attention span.
The story will last exactly as long as it lasts.
That long,
Hanashi Amoshita. This story happened in a long ago time. It is a story of a boy who was finished being a boy, but hadn't yet discovered how to be a man. His name was Kukushio. Kukushio lived in a village of farmers. Like everyone else in his village, Kukushio's life revolved around the planting and harvesting of rice. But Kukushio dreamed of a different life.
Rice, rice, rice. My life is nothing but rice. How long to travel to a rural city and become a painter in the corner of a great struggle.
Then one day,
Kukushio.
Oh, hello, Mother. I was just...
Here you are again, drawing in the dirt while the rice needs to be planted.
I know, but
Rice is all we have to fill our stomachs, Kukushio.
rice is plain and white. It has no taste.
And you must have a life full of many rich colors and flavors, I know. Here, take these coins, all that I have in the world, and go to the world city. When you have become a great painter, you will feed the world with beauty.
Why?
Go on, the rice will grow without you.
And so Kukushio took leave of his mother and set out on the road to the royal city of Edo, 2 days' journey away. He walked, totu, up into the hills, and then totu, down into the valley, until finally, when the day was followed by twilight, he entered the great forest.
It grows so dark. I must find a place to rest for the night.
Kukushio walked and walked, but he found no resting place. He thought of sleeping beneath a tree, but you know, Cupcake, in the forest, the night can be a cold and frightening bedfellow. The wind seemed to sing of spirits and demons, and the night animals taunted Kukushio with their hooting and howling. Then Kukushio's heart leapt with joy. In the distance, off the path, and far into the woods, he could see a single, friendly light.
I know my mother said not to stray from the path, but perhaps that light will lead me to a resting place for the night, away from all these terrible noises.
And so Kukushio made his way towards the light, and found that it came from a window of a very small cottage. He knocked upon the cottage door, and was surprised when it opened to reveal
A beautiful lady. Excuse me for intruding, gentle reader, but I'm on a journey to a rural city and have no place to rest my head for the night. Do you have a corner where I may sleep? I'll gladly pay whatever.
The woman kept a dark silence as she prepared a meal for Kukushio. He thought of who she was and why she lived alone as a boy.
She can't be a peasant woman. Her hands are so soft, and her face so pretty. And look at how she moves like a dancer. Only if she could talk so that I could hear the sound of her voice.
Here's some food. I haven't much to offer. I seldom receive visitors.
Thank you. My name is Kiyomi. I'm Kukushio. What's yours?
Kiyomi.
That's a pretty name. Have you always lived in the forest, Kiyomi-san?
No.
I see. Where did you live before?
In my true love's heart.
Is that far from here?
Very far.
And do you not have a family? Why do you live alone?
The hour is late and your journey's long. You will sleep now.
But perhaps I thought we could stay a while longer and talk more.
You will sleep now. Good night, Kikushio-san.
Good night, Kiyomi-san. Sweet dreams.
Whatever you might hear in the night, do not move from behind the screen.
But Kukushio could not sleep. Outside, the wind seemed to sing its ghostly song, Gaia Gaia. And as Kukushio tossed and turned in the night, he could not stop thinking of Kiyomi.
Who could she be? Who could she be? Who could she be? And what did she mean about her true love's heart? Who could she be? Who could she be? Who could she be? And what did she mean about her true love's heart? Who could she be?
Then came the hour of the rat, the deepest and darkest hour of the night. Kukushio was startled from his thoughts by a frightening sound.
No!
A cold chill went down his spine, and then, as though the wind itself were singing, he heard a strange and beautiful music.
I have to say,
Kukushio remembered Kiyomi's warning not to move from behind the screen, but this music seemed to pull him from his bed.
it's Kiyomi.
Kukushio's straining eyes could make out a shadow moving in time with the eerie music.
behind the screen.
Forgive me, Kyomi-san, but your dance has enchanted me. I cannot stop myself from looking.
It is I who should ask for your forgiveness. You're my guest and I've treated you very badly. Come, sit by the fire and I'll tell you the meaning of my dancing.
And then, as the fire crackled, Kachi, she told him her story.
Do you know what a shirabyoshi is?
A shirabyoshi is a great dancer.
3 years ago, I was a shirabyoshi, the finest in Kyoto. And I was invited to dance before all the highest nobles. And because I wore this special kimono, I was called the Silver Bird Dancer.
Oh, I have heard the name, even from a distant village.
There was a young man, the son of the shogun, destined to become the ruler of the land. You see his picture there. He came to see my performances every night, and the beauty of my dancing and singing caused him to fall in love with me. He was noble, intelligent, and kind, and I grew to love him as he loved me.
So did you marry him?
Impossible. His father would never have allowed such a marriage.
So what did you do?
As he loved me, he began to neglect his duties and forget the respect owed to his royal father. So one night,
You don't have to tell me anymore.
One night, as the city slept, I crept away from home, taking only this kimono and enough money to buy my food.
Did you go and search for them?
He searched the kingdom for many nights. Until finally, he grew too weak to go on.
He returned to his father's palace, and after suffering a terrible disease for weeks, he changed his world.
Change his world? You mean he died?
Now, although I can never see him again, I've sworn to dance for his spirit every night in the kimono he loved. That is why I urge you to sleep and to not come out from behind the screen, no matter what you heard. My dance is for his spirit alone.
They remained silent for the rest of the night, while only the fire crackled, Kachi. The next morning,
Please, let me pay you for your kindness.
No, the only payment I ask is that you never tell anyone of the environmental care.
I promise.
and Kokusho kept his promise. He went on to Edo, and as the years passed, he became a famous artist. Old age painted lines upon his face, while his own brushes painted beauty in the court of Shogun. One day, an old woman came to him.
Old woman, how may I help you?
I have come, a silly old woman, to ask a favor beyond my rights.
What is it?
I danced in this kimono long days ago. I would like you to paint a picture of me.
Silver. Kyomi-san, is it you?
How do you know my name, master?
Do you remember years ago, you received this guest in your cottage to travel to the royal city?
You?
Yes, it is like Kakusha. And finally, I can repay you for your kindness for that day.
Thank you, Kikushio-san.
Your painting will be my greatest work of my life.
And so Kikushio painted Kiyomi's portrait, but not as the old woman that he remembered, but as the beautiful young lady he remembered, dancing with all of her heart on that moonlit night so long ago. When he showed her, she wept with joy.
My heart dances to the music of your painting. Thank you, Kikushio-san.
And so Kiyomi said farewell and set back on the road to her cottage in the forest. But Kikushio was frightened that she was too old to travel so far alone, so he quietly followed behind her to make certain that no harm would befall her. Finally, they arrived at the cottage.
Kakusho, it is like Kiyomi, it is like Kakusho. I have once again come to your cottage. Kiyomi-san. Kiyomi!
And then Kikushio understood that Kiyomi had changed her world. He stepped away and knelt in the corner where he had tried in vain to sleep those many years ago. And as he watched, he was certain he could see the spirit of Kiyomi rise and join the spirit of her true love. And as Kikushio watched, he saw two spirits, two happy souls united in one true love.
What does it mean?
It means nothing. And it means everything.
It's not real, right? It's
just a story.
Only your heart can tell you that, Kempe. If it made you feel something, then it has truth.
Wait, Nushi, I also kind of like your story. No, I don't wish. Wishes aren't for fairy tales. I'm bored of these stupid, dumb stories. And I'm bored of being stuck in the middle of nowhere. So can you please take me back to my bedroom? Please? Hey, that whatever he was. Hey! Hey, Howard! Hey, Buster!
Name Buster, not Buster.
Won't you hold still?
Cat, gotta blow.
Aren't you supposed to tell me my third story so I can get out of this place?
Well, yes, but
But what?
it's just I've a lot to do and a long way to go. See, I'm a Northman at the Ball's North Team. Germany down to Hungary through Italy where the sun comes up. Besides, I've heard about you. They got better things to do than waste your stardust. So, if you'll excuse me.
Wait, you are right. I am a Starbus. And it's a terrible curse. Don't you have a story that will cure me?
Oh, you poor child, didn't know that you were cursed. Well, I do suppose I have a quick story.
Great. Is it a romantic story like Princess or a sad story like Mushi's?
Well, I've been blowing around for a long time. I picked up lots of stories, but the one I like is enough for Bali story time with serious business. Now, the story cracks up my back. Once upon a time, in the kingdom called Austria/Hungary/Ital-Peterborough, there were two young people. One was a princess named Anna, who had everything.
Money, jewels, servants, fast horses.
And one was a peasant named Janos. Janos had nothing. Well, almost nothing.
Stop.
And even though Janos had nothing except
Scalp disease.
he basically just enjoyed a simple life tending his father's sheep. Princess Anna, on the other hand, even though she had everything,
Money, Gucci, servants, fast horses.
was nothing but a sourpuss. She never laughed, nothing pleased her. She just frowned and sighed, and stopped like
All right. I think I get the idea.
See what I mean? Now Princess Anna's father.
The king.
Hated to see his daughter so unhappy, so he sent a decree that the first man who made his daughter off would bid her hand in marriage and inherit the kingdom of Austria/Hungary/Ital-Peterborough. Princess Janos went to his mother and said,
Mama, Princess Anna's father.
The king.
He said that any man who can make a princess laugh
who wouldn't hand in marriage. I believe I will try to stop it.
But Yanni, the princess is very beautiful.
And all the princes and noblemen will come from all over the world to hear her. How can you, an uneducated peasant boy, hope to meet her? Besides, you have a bad case of...
I know. Scalp disease. But what do I have to lose?
Funny you should ask. My daughter, the princess, has ordered the fellow fellas to make her laugh. Balloon is dead. You know.
Nevertheless, I will travel the countryside to find a funny thing.
So, Dad will say goodbye to his mother.
Stay on the path and don't talk to strangers.
He set off on the road to find his body hidden. Meanwhile, back at the house.
Are you? The king. Who are you? What you want? I am Prince One, and I've come to win today your daughter's hand in marriage. Prince One, eh? Well, come in, come in. You look like a very fine young man. You can make her laugh. You will inherit the kingdom of Ostros, Tashangonos, Italia, and Pinnacle. But if you fail, you'll have your head. Thank you.
So, Prince One was left to Princess Anna, and the citizens were notified the first year of countryside law.
Hear ye, hear ye! Here at the palace, for one night and only, the Prince of Comedies, the funny man himself, Prince One!
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to play the palace, and today is a very special occasion because I get to entertain this lovely, lovely lady. Okay, this one's gonna kill you. What do you call an out-of-court jester?
What?
Nobody's fool! Take him away. Wait, no!
So, the citizens were very disappointed that Prince One had
Meanwhile, in another part of the kingdom, trudge.
Good evening, madam. How are you today?
Could be better. Are you so happy about it?
I'm on my way to the king's castle so that I can entertain the princess of becoming the king of Ostros, Italia, and Pinnacle.
A king with scalp disease? Don't be silly. Well, you've given me a good laugh, but the princess won't be so easy also. You have anything?
Well, I do have these 3 last loaves of bread, but they're all I have for the journey. This is my last loaf. If I give you this one, I have nothing, absolutely nothing for myself. The donut's my favorite.
Thank you. And now, to repay you for your kindness, I have a present for you. Here, take this fruit. It will come in handy.
Meanwhile, back at the palace.
Are you the princess who never laughs?
Me? Of course not. I'm the king. What do you want?
I am Prince 2, and I have come to win your daughter's hand.
Prince 2, you say? Are you related to Prince 1?
He's my mother's only child, and his mother's aunt is my mother's sister. So we're distantly related.
I see. Well, we have better luck than needed. Well, carry on.
So Prince 2 was led to Princess Anna, and the citizens were notified that he had come.
Hear ye, hear ye. Here at the palace, the man who would be king, the royal put down Prince 2.
Thank you so very much. Harold, great girl, talks like she's been inhaling some balloons of helium. And talks like her shirt is 2 times long. But anyways, it takes talent to have a higher voice than SpongeBob. Talking about small, this kingdom, right? It's the only kingdom where I know that the name is actually longer than the main highway. But hey, when we're talking about royalties, we have to talk about the king, right? Oh, sorry. Princess Anne. I don't know where you got those hula hoop earrings, but I bet I can put my head in those. And another one, I love the king. Love him. Give him a hand. But I have to say, his taste in clothes is for poo-poo. I don't know who designed the clothes, but it's definitely not Gucci. Design clothes. Goldilocks? It's okay. Pink Panther designed mine.
Not funny. Take him away.
So the citizens were very sad that Prince 2 had also failed. Meanwhile, in another part of the kingdom,
Good evening, madam, and how are you? Say, didn't I meet you like just 10 minutes ago?
No, that must have been my father's, sister's, mother's, only son's, only daughter. And she lives on the other side of Astro/Hungaro/Italo-neighborhood. And we don't look anything alike, so how you ever guess? You got any money?
Well, I do have these 3 last floors, but they're all I have for the journey, and I remember that. Okay. Okay, don't ask, okay?
Your mother would be very proud of you. Now, to repay you for your kindness, I have a present for you. This is Gertrude. She is a dancing goose. And if you play that flute given to you by my father's, sister's, mother's only son, only daughter, she will dance for you. Go ahead, play. Now that Gertrude knows you are her master, whenever you play that flute given to my father's, sister's, mother's, only son's, only daughter, she will dance for you. Go ahead, play it. And now that she knows you are her master, whenever she says quack quack, right away you must say, stick to my back. Quack quack, stick to my back. That's the ticket.
Yanis was delighted by Gertrude, the dancing goose. He thanked the woman and set off the road to the palace. Meanwhile, the part of the kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Ha. I am.
Don't tell me. Prince 3, am I right?
No. My name is Prince Faye. But you may call me Prince Faye. And these are my 2 associates, Bacon and Stephen.
So, Prince Fred, tell me, how do you plan to make my daughter laugh? Even jokers, impersonators, and even one who threw a mustache in my face with an actual grease. That's it now. So tell me, Prince Fred.
How to make her laugh?
No, but no, take him away.
Come on, guys. We're taking a journey with the executioners. Big it! Hey there!
The whole kingdom fell into deep distress. Meanwhile, Janos arrived at an inn.
Good evening, Madam Innkeeper. Do you have a place for me to stay? As you can see, my goose and I have...
How much money have you got?
Well, actually, I have none. But you see, I could really...
Go to sleep with a garlic-eating dragon. I'll have no freeloaders in my inn.
But when the innkeeper's daughter saw Janos' goose, she wanted it for herself, so she whispered to her mother to let Janos stay for the night, for she planned to steal the goose.
You can sleep in the barn behind the stacks of hay, but whatever sounds you may hear, do not peek up from behind the hay, especially if it's clacking sound. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Janos made a bed for himself behind the hay and soon fell asleep. But as night fell, he was awakened by strange noises, like little girls' feet walking on dirty floorboards. And the unmistakable sound of someone being dishonest. Then, as plain as day and as twice as loud, he heard Gertrude's cry.
Quack, quack! Stick to my back!
The girl stuck to Gertrude.
Ha! That'll teach you not to steal another fellow's goose. I'll get you just have to sleep with us. Good night.
The next morning...
Oh, so you're still here. Well, you'll just have to dance along with us to the king's castle.
But I want to go home.
No, you'll stay here.
What is the meaning of this tomfoolery, Guinevere? Unhand that goose.
But of course she couldn't.
Guinevere, did you hear what I said? How dare you disobey me? Quack, quack! Stick to my back!
And now, too, the innkeeper joined the dance. Meanwhile, the mayor of the town happened to pass by.
I've never seen such despicable behavior in my town. Let go of that girl and untie that goose.
But of course they couldn't.
And I'll put a stop to this.
Quack, quack.
Stick to my back.
And now the mayor joined the dance. They danced their way all the way to the palace. Meanwhile,
back at the palace. Cheer up, Papa. No one made me laugh, and no one will marry me. So I guess we will have him for a long time.
Oh, joy.
Are you the...
Yes. The king. What would you win, peasant?
Well, I'm here to entertain your daughter, Princess Abby, so that I can become the king of Ostros-Nassau-Yons-Nassau-Salons and Peterborough.
You put it as a peasant, and you've lost the case.
I know. Scalp disease.
A king with scalp disease. Now that's almost funny.
It is? I suppose so. But that is why it's better chance after all. Do you have some other funny illness?
No, just a scalp. But I have this flu.
A flute?
And Gertrude.
Gertrude?
And Gertrude's friends.
Well, that doesn't seem very promising. But carry on.
Wait. Exactly how many heads have you cut off since my coming?
Well, depending how you count the Siamese twins. Is it 236 or 237?
I don't want to be king anymore.
Wait, try. I have a funny feeling about you.
You do?
Well, at least if they cut off your head, you won't have to worry about your scalp pieces anymore.
I guess I'll give it a try.
That they would die, and then I wouldn't be able to come back to my bedroom. And the reasons that told me the stories were Risa, Nushi, and Buster. And I really liked those stories. I really did.
Kevin K. An hour ago you had no imagination whatsoever. And now I come in here and you tell me about magical winds that lead to funny names. How can you? What has gone into you?
You mean it was a dream?
It must have been dream.
Quack quack! Gertrude! Now, Mom, that's an interesting story.
And so that is how Grandpa Kevin K went to nowhere.
But it isn't really true, is it, Grandpa Kevin K? All that stuff about Anita and Nushi and Bust and Gertrude? Stop lying. Stop trying to scare us, Grandpa Kevin K.
Did it happen? Maybe. Maybe not. But is it true? Is it true?